Hey, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. I just want to give you full disclaimer that this is going to be longer than a regular 3 minute short, and but it will not be as long as an actual service out of Belfort Hills Chapel. I just wanted to talk to you here today for just a moment. Now, at the time that I'm recording this, it is September the 11th. This is the 24th year, the anniversary. It's not a celebration of September 11th, but it is the anniversary of the terrorist attack, first ever terrorist attack on the 48 contiguous states of the United States. Not forgetting Pearl Harbor at all, but of the 48 contiguous states, this is the remembrance of that. And this has been quite a trying week. It's been a very trying last couple of days. If you don't know, you must be under a rock. But yesterday, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Almost around the same time, there was an active school shooting in Colorado. 1 week ago, in a Catholic school, there were students that were gunned down while they were in mass praying. And it has been a very trying time. School shootings are nothing new. They are on the rise, the increase, according to statistics. And our lawmakers are trying to hammer out some type of way to deal with that. I don't know what the answer is with that, other than changing people's hearts and lives. But I just have to stop for just a minute and think about the rhetoric that's going on right now, the rhetoric that's happening. It's mainly political, and I don't jump into the political fray. I am not a political activist. I know my role. I'm a pastor. I am a bishop. A bishop is a pastor of pastors. I'm the vice bishop of the Fellowship of Churches in Christ. And, you know, my role is to help people become the best people that they can be spiritually. As you can see on the wall, my doctorate's is legit, my master's is legit. I counsel people on a daily basis. We want to be the best people we can spiritually, mentally, and do what we can physically as well. It has just been astonishing to me, and maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe it shouldn't be. But it has been astonishing to me, the rhetoric. Right after what happened to Charlie Kirk, there were lawmakers that were standing on the steps of Capitol Hill talking about this is the opposition party's fault. There are people, even as I was going through social media today, just to see what is out there and what's being said, there are people talking about, we're coming for you. You've been coming for us. It is just a very, very tumultuous time. I, at one point during the day, was just overwrought with emotion, and I found myself wiping tears away because I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm all of that. And one thing that I just have to compare it to is thinking about the rhetoric that's going on right now and the actions that are taking place right now in America by Americans, as opposed to 24 years ago when the Twin Towers came down, when the Pentagon was hit by a plane, when the people on the other plane that went after the terrorists and brought that plane down, keeping it from what we are supposing and what we are hearing would have been flying into the Capitol in Washington, D.C. I just kept reflecting back on the difference. We all came together as people. What I know is on September 11th, 24 years ago, we were watching, glued to the television to see what was happening. We were seeing firefighters in New York. We were seeing police officers in New York throwing complete caution and self-preservation to the wind to help other people. We were not Republicans. We were not Democrats. We were people. We were people helping people. We were fathers helping other fathers climb out from under that rubble. We were parents helping other people to get home to their children. There's a picture. You can find it online, but I remember seeing it as it was happening in real time. There was a officer of the law with his arm around a lady, and they were coming out from Ground Zero there in New York, and they were both covered in ash. And you couldn't tell immediately as you looked at the picture. You didn't know if this was a white officer helping a lady of color. You couldn't tell if this was an officer, an African American officer helping a white lady. You couldn't tell. They were both covered in ash. But what you did know is these were two people that were in a horrible situation, and they were bringing each other out to help each other. I remember on that day, as the Congress and the Senate stood side by side, Democrats, Republicans, Independents stood side by side and said, this is an attack on America. This is an attack on our country. And we stood together. Nobody had to fill out a questionnaire. What's your sexual preference? What's your voting record? Who did you vote for in the last election? What are your stances? None of that. All we knew is that fellow people were in trouble, and we were coming to rescue them. The firefighters in New York, the police officers in New York did what they could. First responders did what they could. Many lost their lives in the attempt. And I think that in 24 years, we've lost a piece of that. I don't want to say we've lost all of that, but we lost a piece of it. And it's so different now. Now we can place blame. Let me tell you, there's enough blame to go around on both sides of the aisle. I'm not advocating for a political party. What I'm advocating is for people. I know that Charlie Kirk said some ridiculous things, but 2 children don't have a father tonight. I know that children in the school that were praying did nothing to deserve that, but parents don't have their children anymore. This is life or death. My job is to stop and to help us gain some perspective. As a counselor, that part of my job, that's all I do, is help people look at their options and gain perspective at where they're at. And I think we need to stop for a minute and step back and take a breath and realize that ultimately at the end of the day, we've got to start taking care of people. I'm not going to stop preaching even though I'm discouraged. I'm not going to stop pastoring even though I may be angry. I'm not going to stop advocating for what I believe is right. I'm not going to stop being a good man because of the fact that this has happened. What ultimately the goal of an enemy is to bring disunity and for everyone to attack each other. And I'm not going on the attack. I'm going to keep building people up. And I want you, if you've stayed with me so far, and I appreciate it so much. I know it's a longer video than normal unless it's a preaching video. But I want us to go back to caring for one another. And where it can start is in our own home and in our own community, and work from there outward. I pray that this, and I'm asking God right now, please don't let this video and these words be a waste of time. But let's go back to caring about people. We may not agree and we may not sit down with everybody, but we can have civil discourse, and we can most definitely work to bring peace to our land. You know, one of the things that it said about Jesus is he's the Prince of Peace. I'm not asking you to believe in a Baptist Jesus or a Methodist Jesus, because the real man, Jesus, would look at a lot of our churches today and say, what are you doing? What in the world are you doing? And that's what I want to get back to. Let's try to find some way to bring peace on earth and goodwill toward men.